Hey guys, welcome to the Team Panacea call. We do this call every week. It's Monday, 8:30 Central. This is your go-to place to get hooked up with other people, kind of touch base and see people other than just a thumbnail on Facebook. We talk about news and events and what's working, what's not working. We do some Q&A sometimes. Last week it was pretty cool. We did a live power hour with Cody. So this is a place where you want to make sure that your team is getting plugged in and showing up. And if they can't be here live, then you want to make sure that you catch the recordings. One of the things I didn't mention is that a lot of times or not necessarily a lot of times, but from time to time we have some guest speakers on this call. And the people that we have tonight, I'm really excited to hear from them. The first time that I met Bryan, it's Bryan and Tesha. Am I saying your name right? Tesha? Tesha? Are you unmuted here? You can, please, lady, tell me how to say your name properly. I was like,
it's Tesha. I know. I don't know.
You know what? I was like, why didn't I think of that like 90 seconds ago? Like right when I started talking, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I remember how. Okay, Tesha. But so, listen, guys, the first time that I met Bryan was at the men's leadership event in Dallas. And it's funny because he came up to me. You were still in the Army at that time, right?
Yeah.
And, he came up to me and he was super motivated and Star Diamond or maybe in 2-star qualifying, and he was like, man, I'm so pumped up. I'm in the Army now, but this is what I'm going to do. My wife is killing it. She's probably going to pass me. I don't know if he still thinks that or not, but that's not a bad thing to think. But he's like, but she's crushing it too. This is our baby. This is what we're going to do. And so, I listened to him and I believed him, but I'll be honest with you, he was like one of 10 or 12 people that day who came up and told me all of these amazing things that they were going to do. But the thing is that Bryan and Tesha actually did it, right? So now they're here and they're both full-time now. Bryan has left the Army and was in pre-med and decided, they decided that, this is what we're going to do. And so this is what they do now. So Bryan is a 5-star diamond coach with 28 months in Success Club. And Tesha is a 4-star diamond coach with 32 months, give or take, quoting Bryan there, I think, in Success Club too. And so it just shows that you can do it. You can do it as a couple, and it's not always easy living with your upline or your downline. I'm sure that they can probably attest to that as well. But I'm really excited to hear from them. I was on their call last week. Or 2 weeks ago. They've got a fantastic team, and so we decided once I got to meet them and heard a little bit about his call, I was like, man, I got to get these guys on here. And it's really cool to see them just growing as a pair of leaders in the network. Bryan is posting in the men's event group now, and like one of our other coaches was talking, is really got some Facebook video gold going with his basic white girls at Target skit that he's doing. So if you haven't found that, then check it out. Saying that though, let me ask you guys, everybody, do me a favor and click follow instead of sending them friend requests. I'm sure that their profiles are public. You can chat with them and see everything that everybody that is their friend can see. But as coaches, we want to save those friends for people on our team or people that we're building relationships with. So keep that in mind, but I do encourage everybody to jump over to their Facebook page and click follow, because it's definitely a pair of people that you want to keep an eye on. With that being said, they're going to be talking to us tonight about recruiting, because I'm not exactly sure what kind of numbers Tesha throws down, but just talking to Bryan, I know he brings way more people in than I do, so that's fantastic. I'm excited to hear about that. So we're going to be talking about social media and recruiting tonight. So without further ado, the Bachmans, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. All right. We're good.
So tonight we're talking, like you said, on recruiting and social media because it is so important and they run
Are you whispering?
together. Oh, no. Can you hear me? You good? Don't pick on me. But anyways, we wanted to quickly give you some backstory. It's going to be very quick because we need to speed through it. But go ahead.
Got so much content for you guys. So I enlisted in the Army in 2007. I was a gas station attendant, and I wasn't going anywhere. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I saw a guy in the Army, and I was like, oh, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I jump out of airplanes and kill people. I said, oh, that's cool. Huh. And 2 weeks later, I was in basic training. Back in 2007, they got you in there. I met Tesha while I was in the Army. Her stepdad is a Green Beret, so we were stationed together, and that was cool. You know, we liked each other, I guess. And I did 8 years in the Army. I had 2 tours. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor when I got out of the Army. So we were doing the pre-med route, just kind of part-time, you know. And we started this Beachbody thing, and we had to change the plan.
Right. So I was actually in a position in life where I had 2 kids who were under the age of 5. And I don't know about you, but putting them in some kind of daycare type thing and going to work, 2 of them is like nearly impossible. So I chose to go to college instead because working as a dental assistant, I couldn't pay for that. And I was going to school for dental hygiene. So that's what I was doing. We got Insanity. You know, I loved it. We decided to become a coach a year after our coach invited us.
So it was kind of interesting. We both found Insanity in different ways. My very first deployment, I was in Afghanistan, and while I was in Afghanistan, Tesha was working out with our neighbor who wasn't a coach and just loved Insanity, and they did Insanity together. But my second deployment to Iraq, we kept getting eye-rammed, just like rocketed, so we couldn't go outside to do cardio anymore. So we had to do cardio inside, and we were doing Insanity. I had no idea what it was. All I knew was this really black guy on the screen who thought he was in better shape than me. So I had to compete against him. When we came back, we realized in 2012 that we were doing the same program at different times, and we said maybe we should do this together. So we bought it from beachbody.com because we're legit Americans, right? Pay people for their work.
I was a free lead to Jessica Bowser Nelson, which you've probably seen her in Sandy Max 30. And Bryan got some.
I was a free lead too. You see, it says log into Team Beachbody and you can have a free coach. And I logged into Team Beachbody, made a coach. Does anybody here know a guy named Enrique Rodriguez? No, me neither. Guy never messaged me. So that was my experience with my coach.
But anyways, I got Jessica. She invited me to buy Shakeology. And at the time, we were still super broke and both going to college. Bryan was working, and we also had Bryan's sister living with us. That's how I was able to go to college, not pay for daycare. And we had to pay for her and her baby to live with us as well. So honestly,
you kind of watched Jessica for like a year.
Right. Watched her for a year. She made amazing posts on Facebook saying that she had paid off her mortgage. She's only been a coach for 3 years, and she included her age, which I was totally impressed.
Crazy stuff. So Tesha came to me one day and said she wanted, Jessica had this golden egg opportunity and she wanted to be a part of it, right? And she was opening up a second business center. And I'm not a controlling guy, but I was just kind of like, do whatever you want, but don't come crying to me when you lose all our money, and that's kind of the mentality that I had. So Tesha actually signed up first, and she worked for about 2 weeks.
I was obsessed,
just clickety-clacking away on the computer. And I remember about 2 weeks into it, I come home from work and I'm sitting over at my computer, just kind of, farting around. And she starts jumping up and down at the computer. She's freaking out, like, oh my God. I'm like, what? She goes, I just sold a challenge pack. I said, I don't know what that is. And she said, I just made $70. And we were on government assistance at the time, man. And I'm telling you, that hit home. $70. Like, wow. And I kind of moseyed over to the computer, like, what are you doing over here? She goes, I just talk to these people, find out that they want to get healthy, and I just sell them stuff. I was like, I could do that. And that started our joint venture into Beachbody. But we're planners. We had a plan. Tesha was going to be a hygienist. I was going to be a doctor. We had college. We had everything planned out for when I got out of the Army. And then this happened. And we started saying, what if we changed the plan?
It took about 6 months to get there.
Yeah.
We were just, we were just hitting the small goals. I didn't think much of this business. At one point around December, I almost quit because I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't have Wi-Fi out here. And then I came back and I made Success Club happen within 3 days, which I don't even know how that happened. And then, January came and
we made it New Year's Eve at 11:50.
Blew up. Business blew up in January and February. And February is when we paid off all our credit cards. Yeah. And then that's when we were like, well, let's look at our growth. And I keep track of this. Right. And we were like, what if? What if?
So we were only making a couple $100 a week at the time, but we had the vision. Like we were like, holy crap, this might be possible. So we tell our coach, and this is probably the end of our story since we want to give you some actual content, right? But we had such a vision, but we were still so skeptical because it was still so new. We went to our coach, and I was like, all serious. I'm like, you need to get on a Zoom call with us right now. And she was like, holy crap, are you quitting? And we was like, listen up, I have a plan, and I understand that Beachbody's all rah, everybody's awesome, but this is my life, all right? So don't blow smoke up the chimney of my life. I need to know right now, because if we change the plan, this needs to be real, because I need to support my family. And I'm super stern, right? I've been to war twice, right? My job was an infantryman, right? And she looks at me and she starts laughing, and she says, you guys have no idea what's about to happen to your life. And that was it. I dropped out of college that day.
I dropped out of college when he called me. I cried. I didn't want to do it.
And suddenly, Beachbody became Plan A. And I still had 18 months left in the Army at that time because I had to write off the contract. And we said, we need to make as much money as I make in the Army by the time I get out of the Army, or we can't live. Or we can't live. And that attention that Beachbody was now getting, now that it was Plan A, really shot things off. And we ended up hitting that goal of replacing my Army income like 4 months later. Like unbelievable growth, really fast. By the time I got to the Army, we had more than doubled it. And now we are making well into 6 figures, and things are just continuing to grow. And it's just incredible. But I've been out of the Army for about 7 months now. We live in Orlando, Florida. We moved here. We're really enjoying it. The team's on fire.
It's pretty awesome. So we wanted to show you the potential of this business if you literally give it the effort that it needs to grow.
I thought you were going to say if you literally give an F.
No. Like if you want this business to grow and you put the work behind it to match that, then it will like blow your mind. Like I don't know.
Listen, I heard this and I love this so much. And they said, listen, guys, I don't wear a cape. Like we're not superstars at this business. We decided that this business was going to happen. That's the only difference, is we decided that this is happening. It doesn't matter what adversity comes, and a lot did come. We didn't have a working coach for like 9 months into this business. We built everything ourselves, right? And then when the workers came, everything blew up. Right. But that's not an excuse to not build. People working underneath you does not affect you bringing in new people. So let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's start out with how we're going to recruit on purpose. And that's an interesting concept. And that's the first bullet right there, recruiting on purpose. Who here falls out of bed and accidentally puts their shoes on, accidentally brushes their teeth? You do these things on purpose. So why can't you do this business on purpose and focus on specific activities that are going to give you specific results? And we call that recruiting on purpose, because that is how you're going to make $100,000 a year. If you make $100,000 a year on 25% commission, you are impressive.
That's a lot of work.
That is not how I'm going to build this business. Right? All right. Go ahead.
So anyway, we're going to kind of teach you how to form through posts, through Facebook posts. You just said that. We're going to learn how to form through Facebook posts, because a lot of times we're adding these people and we don't really know who they are, right? We're adding these people and somehow we have to connect with them before we message them, and then it's all awkward and weird.
So we talk about form, right? Like form's a thing. Everyone knows what form is. And I don't like form because it's putting a script on having a conversation, right? Like it makes it awkward. Like, so F-O-R-M, right? Family. Okay, I got to talk about the family. So you have family, or like, how's your wife? Okay, that was awkward. All right, occupation. So like, what do you do for work? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a weird way to have a conversation. But form is the concept we're going to use of just talking to people and getting to know them, right? And we do that through our posts. So if you go to my page right now and give me 5 or 6 scrolls, you're going to know everything going on in my life. You're not going to know what flavor of Shakeology I had today because I've been doing this for almost 3 years. You know I drink Shakeology at this point. But you're going to know exactly where I was, the thoughts that I had, the people I met, what me and my family did, because that's important. That makes me real. That's what makes me different than the girl on Facebook going, my shake today.
Or kissing it.
Right? Like that's not going to do it, guys. That's not going to do it. I need to know who you are. And why should I go to you instead of going to Amazon?
Exactly.
Right? So that's what we do.
Then
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm almost done.
No, you go.
So we use our Facebook post to form, not through the messages. And that forming goes one way. Now these people who I've never met ever, never even had a conversation with, know me. They feel like they know me. So when I do reach out to them, because we're going to reach out to them, they already feel comfortable with me, and all I have to do is become a professional question asker.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so the next bit is like, who is the best you? We want you to talk to them. So I want you to look at your circle of people around you, and I want you to pick out the best people, the people that you want on your team who are exactly who you are, but better.
Right.
We want you to talk to them. Right.
So if you believe in Jesus and you're all about that Jesus life, then you're going to attract people who are into Jesus, right? But say you're an atheist, let me just use this as an example. Say you're an atheist.
It's a terrible example.
Then why would you market to people who aren't like you, right? Like it's just going to cause friction. You're not going to see eye to eye, and it's going to cause tension in the team. So figure out who you are right now, and then think about who you want to become, and that person is the person that we're looking for. Because if you surround yourself with the people who you want to be, it's going to make you better, it's going to make them better, and it's going to grow the crap out of this business.
All right, so we're going to hop over here.
All right, let's get to the actual things of what we're going to do. The first thing we need to do if we're going to be a professional Facebooker is you need to clean that profile up.
Yeah.
Stop BuzzFeed videos.
The first thing we did was go through all our old photos, and I was a normal person, so my history might not look as pretty, but I had pictures of us at parties, and puking all over yourself. No, that wasn't out there. I blocked it to the public. I didn't delete them forever. I know some people hang on to memories and use Facebook as a little album of pictures.
I do.
But what I did was just blocked it to the public, so that way I can see it and I have access to it, but nobody else does. I don't want people to think of me as a person who gets wasted every day. So got rid of those photos. Anything that looks unprofessional through your pictures, then I would, get rid of it, because people are weird and they will scroll through all your photos.
True that.
The next thing you want to
do, profile picture.
Profile picture.
Let's talk about the profile picture here, guys. This thing is it. It is your handshake. It is your what's up. Your profile picture needs to be you. It needs to be a nice, well-lit photo of you with a smiling face. Because you are not your kids. Your kids are cute, but you are not your kids.
No.
You are not the group of girlfriends at the bar. Because now I'm going to go, which one is she?
I hate that. Like, I've talked to so many women who have like a group of friends, and I'm like, which one am I talking to?
Now you're scrolling through pictures trying to figure out who you are. But if I'm a prospect, I'm not scrolling through. I'm just going to go out and know who you are, right? All right. So your picture is not your dog. It is not you with the French flag over it. I get it. That was terrible. It's time to change your profile picture back, guys. Okay, France appreciated it. All right. So profile picture is going to be super important. Most people have a fancy camera, and take a nice fancy picture of yourself looking pretty. And
if you don't have one, because we didn't have one until like a year ago.
You got an iPhone.
A phone of some sort. Just make sure it is lit. And it's not like your TV screen light is glaring on your face.
Get off your couch too. You know what I'm talking about. The girls are like they're laying on their couch and she's like, selfie. Right?
Just take a good smile.
Get outside, man. Live your life. Yeah. And get that picture, okay? The next is the banner, right? This banner is the smiling face of your profile. It's important that is something that you want to represent who you are and what it is. This can be of you and your kids, of your dog, of you and your friends. But make sure that it's a professional photo. That it's not professional, right? But it is professional looking to where it is something that when I look at it, I instantly get the message that you're trying to send. Okay? It should not be anything that Beachbody puts out, but we'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. The second the third is happy posts. Happy posts, okay? I am so so tired of the negativity on Facebook. It's actually a cliche. It's a thing that people talk about. Like, amidst all the sea of negativity on Facebook, here's a positive post. And it's a picture of that battery. You guys have seen that before, right? Like, isn't that messed up that that's even a joke? That's how much people go to Facebook with their problems. Like, come on, man. So I get it. Don't be a cookie cutter. Everything's so happy and smiley. Share your struggle. And we're going to talk about sharing your struggle. But this is something, I think she has a dog hair in her eye. I don't know what she's doing. But we're talking about sharing your struggle, and that's totally cool and exactly what you want to do. But you are the beacon of light. That is something I came up with like 18 months ago or something, right? Like, I wanted to be the beacon of light in the sea of negativity that is my social media, because I unfollow all coaches. I unfollow them. So my page is literally filled with prospects, people that I want to talk to, right? So when I scroll through, it is just a dark, negative, terrible place, right? And I'm trying to help them by commenting and engaging and getting them to be happy. And my job is I'm going to smile, and any time I have a struggle, I flipped my car 2 years ago on the freeway, and I put a positive spin on the post of, I am alive, I am lucky. I had an interesting story to tell now. And that's the concept.
Personal development helps. So if you're super upset about something, I would just face dive.
Don't post it on Facebook until you can look at the sunny side of the situation. Because, I mean, think about it from my perspective. You know, like if you're talking to me and you add me on Facebook and then you send me some stupid spam message, and then I go like, who is this? I haven't talked to this girl in 10 years, you know? And I go to click on your page, and all I see is you're sharing a BuzzFeed video. You have a cat. You're angry about having to fold all this laundry. Oh, she went to the dentist the other day. Like, I don't know what the hell, like what free group? I don't know. Just get away from me. Boom. Like, I'm gone. You know, like, because this is your business. This is where you go, right? So make sure that you are putting out a message that is going to be receptive to somebody when you do send out that stupid spammy message because you get lazy. And we're going to talk about a stupid spammy message too. That's it.
Okay.
That's it for getting the profile cleaned up. All right.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is posting.
Your posting.
I feel like this is an art, okay? And it's something that you're going to learn. So not everybody's amazing at it. Actually, Bryan used to be terrible. He used to be so bad he had to set an alarm on his phone to remind him to post.
I did.
And now I think his posts are better than mine.
So
it is totally a skill set. And if you are afraid that you suck at it, just keep going, because eventually you're going to be awesome. But the first step to successful posting, and this is super important because we form through our posts. Number one is posting 3 to 5 times a day. I just said that if you don't do that, set an alarm. It's super easy.
So I was so bad at this, guys. I was so bad at this because, I mean, before Beachbody, I went to Facebook once every 3 months, and I posted one of 3 things. I posted something political. Right, Tisha loves this story. I posted something political, right, because that's what I talked about. I posted about how mad I was that the Cleveland Browns kept losing, right? And I posted videos of like terrorists getting killed. That was it. And that's all I shared all the time. So when I decided that this was going to be what I was going to do, you have to recognize that this is a skill set, that being a professional marketer is a skill set. And that shouldn't deter you. That should encourage you, because you can learn anything. You can learn anything if your why is strong enough. If I take you in the middle of a metropolitan city with a broken car and I give you an owner's manual on how to fix it, you going to fix that car? No. You're going to Uber. You're going to call a mechanic. You're going to do whatever it is. But if I take you into the middle of the Arizona desert and leave you there with 1 bottle of water and a wrench and an instruction manual on how to fix the car, are you going to fix that car? Or you're dead, right? So if your why is strong enough, why am I fixing this car? You're going to learn anything. You're going to learn anything. And I decided that I was going to learn how to be a professional marketer on Facebook.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to share our journey, and all aspects, every single aspect of your journey needs to be shared. Even if it's so tiny and you think it's so dumb, people need to hear it, because other people, if you lost 2 pounds in this week, that is more than what most people are doing, because they're gaining 2 pounds a week. You need to share everything. And that also goes with your business. So what if you're not making $250 a week yet? So what? How much are you making? And then equal that to a bill that you could pay off.
Right.
And here's one thing you have to know is that is $50, $70, $100 more than you would have had if you didn't have this business. Absolutely. That is on top of what you're already doing, on top of your job.
In your spare time.
Right. And most of the time we do this on the go. when we're already scrolling Facebook anyway.
Right. How many times do you scroll Facebook a day?
So I feel like people really underestimate sharing your journey, and they only share certain aspects. They only share the fitness side. Well, that's why nobody's joining your teams, because they don't know that there's a business to join.
Right.
All they know is you're having challenge groups and your challengers are kicking butt, but they don't know about your business,
So
no matter how small or big it is.
Are they going to come to you to lose 50 pounds, or are they going to come to you to build $1 million business? What are you watering? Because what you water in this business is going to grow.
All right. So we did share a journey. Next thing is
the stock photos.
We're going to avoid being spammy, because it turns people off. Like the first thing I do, like if I can tell right away that you're some kind of rep for some kind of company and you're adding me, I'm already assuming you're going to sell me something. I don't even accept, unique presenters because I know I'm to be added to a group soon. So what I'm saying is your Facebook should look like your life. Mostly, you should not be spamming Shanti pictures of insanity.
Listen, guys, Beachbody puts hundreds of millions of dollars every single year into advertising. They are very, very good at what they do. You are not going to beat them in advertising. So when they create these images, these photos for the sale this month, right? Or you go to Google Images, type in Shanti and those insanity pictures or your Shakeology pictures or whatever it is you're using, okay? This was created by Beachbody to drive traffic to beachbody.com. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. If they see Shanti's face and all they see is this challenge pack, they're going to Google Masters Hammer and Chisel Challenge Pack, and they're going to buy it through beachbody.com. So stop. You are not Beachbody.
I don't even say the name of the title that workout I'm doing.
I created my own title. Yeah.
I say, I'm doing my 22-minute boot camp workout.
And I'm doing my 90 days to beast journey.
So that way, they can't just Google body
They have
base.
to come to me.
They have to come. What are you doing? You're only working out 22 minutes? Oh, yeah, let me show you more about it.
That's right. And I'm telling you, if you go to war with Beachbody by trying to use their photos that they're creating to market for you, you're going to lose. It is unbelievably spammy. Right. People do not go to Facebook to be sold things. That's not the point of Facebook, and that's not why people go there, which is exactly why they keep changing the way Facebook ads are ran, because they can't figure out how to get it right, because that's not why people are going there. Right. People aren't going there to be sold things. And the moment that you start to sell things, you instantly turn people up. So don't sell things. Share your life. Share your journey, because that is exactly what Facebook was meant to do. Your job is to simply help people along the way like a friend should, which is how you're going to end up building a $100,000 business, $1 million business. Boom.
Okay.
This is my favorite one.
Oh, wait. There it is.
Oh, that's you. Go ahead. Comfortable?
I don't know what that means.
You wrote it?
You told me to write it.
I would never tell you to write that.
Oh, people become comfortable this way. All right, so you're going to be sharing about your journey, not being spammy. You're going to be posting every single day. You're going to be sharing about your life. Your life.
Putting your life on Facebook.
Listen, I'm not a fitness machine, and people know that I don't enjoy working out, but I do it because fill in the blank. They know that I have PCOS. They know that I'm basic. They know that I'm a mom. And they know that, I don't know.
That's about it. That's about wraps you up.
That's about it. Basic. I like Target. Right. So they know about me. And I'm sharing this kind of stuff every single day. Yep. And then I sprinkle in Beachbody.
Just dash.
You sprinkle it in. I want them to know. It's like my own little reality show. Like people know everything about me. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm a Beachbody coach. I build a business. And I work from home, and I'm building towards freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, I can help you get fit.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share this link in the chat that you guys can take a look at in your own spare time or right now as I talk. But this is something that I've created, and it might be my baby. And corporate has taken it and recreated it and distributed it. They stole it from me. I'm going on record now because they were like, oh, you created something? Do you mind if we take a look? I'm like, sure, corporate, here you go. And they're like, this is very nice. Thank you. So this is my formula on how to post on Facebook like a pro, because it is a professional thing. It's going to take, you see there, I use an example. That's pretty good.
I feel like it pretty much explains it.
Yeah.
So you guys can check
Okay,
that
so you
out.
guys can check it out, and I'll just briefly summarize it, okay? There's 4 parts to what a Facebook post should look like that's going to not only grab someone's attention, but hold their attention and make them feel something.
Ooh, the feels.
That's the part that everyone skips. There's 4 steps. Everyone does 3. Nobody does 4, except for Lindsay Matway and Bonnie Engel and all these Amy Silvermans, which is why they have 600 likes per post, and they're signing up 40 coaches a month, because this is what they've mastered. All right? And I actually, so they probably already know it. I just put words to what they're doing. All right? It has to be your face. It has to be your smiling face. Your face is your brand. This picture has to be flawless. You don't have to be flawless. The picture has to be flawless. It has to be you. You have to be smiling or being funny or being you, being authentic. And that's going to be the attention grabber. You have 2 times that you're going to grab someone's attention. One is with the photo, make it look good. And the second is going to be at the very top of your post. And this is the attention grabber. This is something like, I cannot believe when this crap happens. Enter, enter. Right? What? What happened, Brian? I have to click see more to find out. Attention grabber. Okay? The second is, tell me what happened. And I'll just use an example right now, right? Tell me what happened. So there I was standing in Target, and this little girl in front of me standing with her mom, and it's like noon because I don't work, you know. And my little girl looks up at her mom and says, "Mommy, where's Daddy?" And she goes, "Oh, he's at work, honey." And she goes, "Oh, I wish he didn't have to go to work all the time." And the mother looks down at the girl, and she looks at her like she's crazy. Like the little girl was so absolutely ridiculous right now. She goes, "Well, that's what daddies do, honey." And the little girl goes, "Okay." And it absolutely broke my heart. That's part 3. What happened? And that's where everyone stops. That's where everyone stops. You told me what happened. Thank you for informing me what happened to your day. You are now a reporter. Okay? The next part is tell me a story. This is the most important part. This is the part that everyone skips. And if you can get this right, you're going to just explode on social media. You have to tell me a story. So in the same example, she looked down, she says, "I wish that wasn't the case." And then I say, enter, enter. I am so unbelievably grateful that my little girl is never going to have to look at my wife and say those words, because I decided 2.5 years ago that I was going to build a business from home, no matter what anybody thought or said, with the most fire that I've ever built anything in my entire life. And now I get to be present every single day. Enter, enter. Hashtag, where that dad at? Hashtag, I got an opportunity for that ass. How's that for a Facebook post? But Brian, I'm not a full-time coach. I made $14 last week. I can't say that. Well, this is why I say you have excuse-itis, because I'm going to fix the post just now. The beginning part 3 stays exactly the same. It's exactly what happened. Only instead of saying it that way, I'm going to say it this way, as if I'm not a full-time Beachbody coach. I wish that wasn't the case. Enter, enter. I am so freaking grateful that I am building this business from home in my spare time, because 2 years from now, when I do retire, because I set a date to that I almost said that word, that as I set a date to that thing, that my little girl's never going to have to say that again, because I've decided that I am going to take control of this life, and I'm going to build something that's going to resonate for generations to come. Enter, enter. Hashtag, where that dad at? Enter, enter. I got an opportunity for that ass. Right? It applies. Tell me a story. The story is your story, not my story. Tell your story.
And I just want to piggyback off of that ending there. For a long time, and people thought we were crazy.
They did.
From the moment that we decided that we were all in, Beachbody was plan A, we were telling people what we were going to accomplish way before we even did it.
Making $100 a week, and I was telling everyone, what are you going to do when you get out of the Army? I'm going to be a professional pyramid schemer, sir. Yeah, I told people I was going to be a professional pyramid schemer because I was in a very toxic job. So the next question after I said I was going to be a Beachbody coach was always, is that pyramid scheme thing you've been posting about? So I just started telling people.
Man aerobics.
Yeah, man aerobics is another one. Yeah, so I just started telling people, I'm going to be a professional pyramid schemer. I'm going to go hang out on the beach in Orlando, Florida.
But it's all about, about sharing your journey. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, because from the moment that we began, we were sharing what we were going to do. Yeah. Like, I knew it was possible.
We created a vision.
If so-and-so is doing it and they're showing me the roadmap to get there, then I have no doubt that I'm going to get there. And when I invited we'll get into that. I'm
right.
sorry.
And I'm talking about, man, you have to see this business. You have to see this success that you want before you see the success you want, or you will never see the success that you want. And if you want to be a $100,000 earner, you better start acting like a $100,000 earner. You better start posting and being committed and showing up to this business every single day, no matter how crappy work was, no matter how many times your kids accidentally hit you in the balls, or how mean your wife was to you, right? I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, you know what? I hate you too. I'm going to do my power hour, and then we're going to talk more about this. Like, that's what it takes if you want to go next level in the amount of time that we did.
There was times where me and Bryan weren't getting along, but we were like, I got a sale. Where do we want to put this?
Where do you want to put this? Shut up. Right?
And we still got along because we both had a goal. And we pushed through no matter what.
We were so passionate. We were so into this business that we would lie awake at night and sit there and just wonder, like, where is this going? Because we were growing 56% every 3 months, which, by the way, we're numbers people, right? And our income, and we were like, imagine where we'll be a year from now.
It scared me.
Are we seriously going to be making that much money? And we did. And we did. It kept growing at that rate because we kept recruiting 3 to 5. By the way, that was super minimum, and 3 to 5 per person. So we're recruiting over 10 coaches a month. And you can build this business in 5 years, recruiting 2 or 3 coaches a month if you're consistent and you can teach other people to do that. But if you want to build this thing with the fire and intensity that we did, then you're going to have to show up at another level.
Up your numbers.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move to the next thing because I feel like this is the meat.
We're going a little over on time, but you know what? You can just leave if you don't want to hear me talk.
Are we?
Yeah, well, we had until 10:15. We had until 10:15.
Okay. Okay, well, we're almost done.
We're almost done.
Okay, so the next step is the most important step.
Now we're going to get into the actual messaging of people. Everything else, we weren't even messaging anyone.
Right, because it all builds. If you're doing one without the other, it's not going to work. If you're posting and expecting people to sign up, it's not going to work. If you're messaging people but you're not posting, it's not going to work.
Right.
You need to mesh the two.
So there's 2 things that need to happen before you send a single message to anyone if you want this thing to work. The first is you have to believe in your opportunity. You have to believe in your product. If you don't honestly believe that Focus T25 and Shakeology will change someone's life, then you are living under a rock, my friend, because one of my best friends, Casey Walker, who won $100,000 last year, used Focus T25 and Shakeology, lost 118 pounds, and won $100,000 in the Beachbody Challenge.
I feel like if you don't believe in our stuff, then you're living on a rock, or you haven't committed to it yourself.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but I committed to 21 Day Fix Extreme 100%. First time ever I committed to anything. I was always like 99. Like, I was never 100%. And I cried in week 2. I hadn't gotten into week 3 yet, and I cried of happiness. I was like, is this real life?
Look at my butt.
Is this my stomach? Like, it blew my mind. So if you do not believe in our products, do the 21 Day Fix Extreme. I swear it will rock your world.
Go 100%.
Commit. 100%.
Listen, you've been having cheat meals your entire life. You don't need a freaking cheat meal. That's how you got in this situation to begin with. You can have a cheat meal when you hit your goal weight. Then you can enjoy your cheat meal. Before that, suck it up. Suck it up and commit.
All right. So believe in yourself.
The second is you have to believe in yourself.
I think believe in yourself is so important.
This is you.
I had a huge personal development, shift. I came to this business, and people tell me this, I can't be a Beachbody coach because I don't have a lot of friends, and I never leave my house, and I'm not a people person. That is all excuses, okay? I was called a no man. Who's seen
Yes Man with Jim Carrey?
Who saw it?
Yes Man with Jim Carrey?
Oh my God.
Come on, people.
Come on.
Listen, that movie defines our life, and I attribute our success in this business to that movie.
It's such a cheesy movie, but it's so good. Go rent it. I don't know how you're going to find it. Just go rent it.
So good.
They don't have Blockbusters.
Just BitTorrent. BitTorrent insanity while you're at it.
No, shut up. But anyways, I came to this business and I said no a lot. I would say that people invite me to birthday parties or like to the zoo with my kids, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna go. And then 5 minutes before I leave the house, I'd find a reason, like, oh, my son, he just puked. He's crapping
all over himself.
I'm sorry, I can't go. And there are people out there who do this. I talk to them all the time when I share this.
I call them out. Right to their face. Yeah.
But
no man.
You are being a no man, and your life is sucking because you're holding yourself back. And as soon as I started saying yes no matter how scary it was, and made me
So what did you
nervous.
read? You read The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz.
The Magic of Thinking Big changed my life.
He told you to say yes to every opportunity that comes to you.
And to compliment people, which was weird. It was, and like look people in the eyes and like stand, and I did not feel strong, but I did it, and people started respecting me and inviting me out, and my life changed. Become a yes man. It's amazing. Yeah. But anyways,
not the business. The business thing happened for us because we changed who we were as people. And the same thing with believing in yourself. When Tesha came to me originally and said, you're supposed to read this book. It's one of your 3 vital behaviors, because I was starting to become a coach, right? I said, what's this do? She goes, it's a book. It teaches you how to be a better person. I said, better person? I'm already awesome. I don't need a book to teach me how to do that. And I was super against it. I was so against it to the degree that when Tesha would say, you have to listen to this part that I just read, I would go, nah, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was so against it.
I was reading GoPro, and I was like, oh, this is so good.
I was so against it. And the only reason, and this is it, if you have a spouse out there, you're like, yeah, if my spouse would be successful too, right? And you have that mentality, your spouse isn't going to work with you first off, right? The way you get your spouse to come on board with these sorts of things is by doing it. You do it. All right. And you go to my YouTube page. I just spoke at a Super Saturday where I talked a whole lot on spouse stuff. But if you want your spouse to be a part of this, you do it. And that's what Tesha did. She did. She sold that first challenge pack. She read personal development every single day. And I am like glued to how good looking this woman is. And I kept noticing that these things that she was doing, that wasn't her. She was stepping out of her comfort zone and doing things that like we've been married for years and that she doesn't do it. I was kind of like this. And she's like, yeah, the book told me to do this. And it became attractive. I was attracted to it. And it became attractive that I was like, wow, maybe there really is something to this. And that's the only reason that I even picked up that book to begin with. And if you want my personal favorite, it's The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. 100%. I've listened to that book in audio a dozen times, at least a dozen times.
Okay, we need to move on. All right.
We're almost done.
Here's something amazing. If you don't invite your business isn't going to grow.
Yeah. And that's it. So those 2 things, though, have to be done before this works. Have to be done before those works. Focus on that before you focus on the messaging.
All right. Okay. So I was talking to my coaches, and they're like, I don't know why my business isn't moving forward. Like, what do I need to do? And I'm like, well, how many people are you sharing the opportunity to? And they're like, well, I told my mom and my sister. I'm like, well, that is why you're not sharing the opportunity.
I'm posting about it.
And do you have your bubble sheet? I just want to share it because
they're gonna want it, and they're gonna steal our idea.
I'll just give it to them.
All right, so check it out. So before you share that up, I had a guy who's been coaching for 6 months, and he's just complaining. And by the way, being a male Beachbody coach, it's not an excuse to not be a coach, because you know who I am, right? And you know who's hosting this call right now. So tell me that you can't be a guy Beachbody coach and just watch me. I'll laugh. I've laughed at guys. like that's the most ridiculous thing. Let me help you cancel. But I had a guy come to me. He's been coaching for 6 months, and he was like, nobody's signing up. I said, all right, dude, let's get in this business. Let's get in your business. Send me your active list of the people you're talking to. Sends me that list, and he's like, it's 19 names. I'm like, okay, and what's up with these people? It tells me about the people. I'm like, great, send me last month's list. And he goes, what do you mean last month's list? I was like, yeah, the people you talked to last month. He goes, that's it. I was like, this is 19 people? This is the people you talked to? And he goes, yeah. I said, in 6 months, you've talked to 19 people about being a Beachbody coach? And he goes, yeah, how many am I supposed to talk to? And I sent him my page, which is like, 2 pages per month of lined paper, right, that I talked to. I said, this is why I have the results I have. This is why you have the results you have. Any questions? And that was it. And he's actually still a coach, still doesn't do anything, but he doesn't message me with his crap problems anymore because he knows what it takes to be successful. He just isn't willing to do it. Listen, I am an abrasive person. I don't like excuses. I built this business in the Army, going to college, working as an EMT part-time, being a dad and being a husband. I hustled my face off, and I sacrificed time with my family big time to make this happen, and it was 100% worth it.
We're running out of time.
We're done. We have like 2 points left.
Okay, so one of the things...
Stifling my creativity.
I am a numbers person. Anybody else a numbers person? Anybody else? None of you guys. Awesome. Okay.
There's one.
So I like numbers, and I like to analyze numbers a lot. It's kind of weird. I just do it. It makes me excited. Right. So Julie Schulte made this a long time ago, and then she shared it with Beachbody, and then they shared it with everybody. But if you haven't seen it, it's a bubble sheet.
It has 100 bubbles on it.
Woo! And you're supposed to do this a quarter. It's scary, but scary makes you grow.
So the way this bubble sheet works, and the reason that it really popped us in the beginning, is that everybody that you share we have an opportunity video, right? And we share our opportunity video with people. And the moment we share the opportunity video with them, their name goes in a bubble.
Right.
If they say that they're like, oh, this is awesome, I totally want to do this, then you star their name, you put a star over their name. And then when they sign up, you highlight the bubble. If they say, no, I'm not doing that ever, then you don't do anything to them. They stay on the sheet, right? Because it takes people, 7 to 8 exposures before they'll sign up. And you start to see how good you are.
Right.
How many people do you have to share that opportunity with to get one person to sign up?
So when I first started this bubble sheet, because we were like competing against other leaders in the group, for every 10 bubbles, for every row, I would get 1 sign up.
Yeah, and that seemed to be the trend.
So just know, if you're starting out and you're new at this, expect that you have to invite 10 people and you might get 1 yes.
Right, because remember, posting on Facebook is a skill. So is the invitation process.
Oh, yeah.
It's a skill set, and you will get better. And you have to recognize the skill set so that way you can ditch things. If you're losing everybody at the price, it's not them. It's not the price. It's you. The way you are presenting the price is turning them off. So change the way you're presenting the price. And I could do a whole nother call on this script that I created.
But what I like about this is it showed me that it is a skill. And the lower I got, the more webinars I shared. This isn't mine.
That's my bubble sheet.
Bryan's.
Boom, 6 out of 10. What's up?
The lower I got, the more I colored in. The more yeses I got per 10, which means my skill was getting better.
Right.
And then by the time I got to the bottom, it was a 50-50. If I shared the webinar, you either signing up or you weren't. It was pretty good. I get 5 out of 10. Sometimes I get 6 out of 10. Bryan even got 8 out of 10 once.
Yeah. So you want to do this, okay? And this bubble sheet, but the goal is to fill up this bubble sheet in 90 days, not in a year, because that will mean that you are sharing this opportunity a lot.
Right.
A lot. And that is what it takes if you want to, get the plane off the ground, if you're using Eric Worre's thing.
I think let's just...
No, right here, bro. We're right here. You're skipping bullets. You're robbing these people of content.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Finish it off.
So how we're going to do a specifics, right? Tell me what to do, Bryan. I just want to be successful. That's a song. Look it up. What you're going to do is so easy, right? Because I don't have anybody to talk to. You're going to go to your profile, you click on friends, you filter it by A, and you message all those people.
Here's the best part. You're messaging them to be their friend.
100%. You don't, no, just that you fill up the sheet as fast as you can, right? Anyways, yeah, you fill up the sheet as fast as you can. When you reach out to people, you have a goal when you're messaging people. And that goal is not to sign them as a coach. It's not to sell them a challenge pack. It's not to get them into your free pot roast group or whatever crap people are doing now, right? Your goal is to be their friend. Legitimately be their friend. Because if you try to be their friend, which you do by talking to people, don't overcomplicate it with this form. You form them, right? No, just have a freaking conversation with them.
Talk to them. Follow up with them. If they mention that they have cancer or something, because I had a lady I was talking to. She had a cancer scare. She was getting tested on. She was going to find out her results on Wednesday. So I set a timer on my phone on Wednesday, and I followed up with her. And I will bet you, I was the only person that messaged her about her results that day.
Oh my God! Did you?
And it
how did the cancer scare go? You ready to sign up for my challenge group? No, come on. You care. Be a person. That's how it works.
These people first. And then they trust me,
right? So
because I'm their friend.
Yeah, you're good. So you're talking to people, and you have a goal to be their friend just by talking to them. And what do you do with your friends? You want to help them. And if you honestly believe that, right? Step number 1, right? You have to believe in this opportunity, right? You have to believe in yourself, having posture. And if you honestly believe in this opportunity, and it will change your life, and these programs will change your life, and you're talking to someone and you figure out their goals because you're their friend, and they're going to tell you what it is they want to be, or what they wish they could do if they had more time or had more money, or where they wanted to vacation but they could never afford it, then you're almost screwing them over by not giving them the opportunity.
Right.
You're their friend, and you have an amazing thing that you could help them do something with, and you're not telling them about it because you're embarrassed about it. You're screwing them over. Recognize that they are the lucky ones. And if you take that mentality into a conversation, I've literally told somebody that before too, by the way, that you are lucky I'm even giving you this opportunity right now.
It is so crazy.
I said that.
And I truly believe that if you want this to work and you put the work behind your goals, they will come true. I am proof. And I'm not the only one. There's so many coaches out there are pushing and working their butts off, and they are creating crazy freedom, bigger than mine. And if I am not presenting this to somebody that I honestly believe that this could change their life, like they hate their jobs, they don't see their kids, all they do is work all the time, or they can't afford the birthday gift that their kids deserve, like that kind of stuff, like pulls my heartstrings. Like, let me help you. I have amazing opportunity. It might take a little bit, but in 2 years, your life will be totally different if you treat this with the attention that it deserves. Your life will freaking change. It's so freaking awesome.
I have 2 last points, and they are so good. I hope you're ready for them. They're so good, and they're quick. The first is why. Right? This business is easy to do. It's very easy not to do it as well, right? It's very easy to. Nobody's going to know if you don't invite somebody today. What's going to push you through? What's going to make you do this thing when things get hard? And that's why you're doing it. And let me explain to you how unbelievably powerful this concept of why is. If I take a 2x4, and I'm not going to claim credit for this, I didn't write this. If I take a 2x4 and I lay it down in front of you right now and I say, hey, what are we going to use? Hey, Justin Butler, walk across this 2x4. I'll give you $20. Easiest $20 you ever made in your life, right? Let's say I take that 2x4 and I put it across 2 skyscrapers and I go, Justin, walk across that 2x4, I'll give you $20, right? I don't know now, right? Let's say I take your kids and I put your kids on the other side of the 2x4 and I set that building on fire. You going to cross that 2x4? I didn't even offer you $20. What changed there? Why? Why am I crossing this 2x4? Why are you here right now? Why are you on this call on a Monday evening when you could be watching Walking Dead reruns? Why are you here? And if you're just like, because Chris told me to, then that's not going to work. These surface-wise, and Vito LaFata did this, so I can't take credit for this. This surface-wise of, I just want to help people. I just want to make some extra money. I just want to bring my husband home. Those are surface-wise, people.
Those are goals.
Those are goals, and they will not bring your husband home. They will not make you show up when the Game of Thrones marathon starts.
Oh, it's so hard.
You need to get deeper than that. You need to peel back these layers and find that. And a lot of the girls do the why that makes you cry. And it's something that should hurt, right? And we kind of picked up from David Ingram, right? The why that pisses you off. I think it was Christine Dwyer, actually, right? The why that pisses you off. Find something that makes you so angry, right? My father was never around because he was working so much. He was on the road as a truck driver for 2 weeks at a time. When he came home to an adulterous wife who didn't want to pull our family apart, so he pretended like nothing was wrong. It made him miserable. So miserable that he missed us so much, he'd come home and be so angry with her that none of the kids wanted to be around him. So I would literally go stay at a friend's house for the entire weekend, and I didn't know my father until I was 16 years old, even though he was present the entire time. At 16 years old, my mother left my father and ran away. My father and I became very, very close after that, after I learned what really was happening. And I decided that my kids will never have to experience that growing up, and that me and my wife will work on our relationship at all times. And we read personal development that deals with relationships, and that I will not come home and hear about my kid's day ever again. I want to be there to be a part of it. And that is why I showed up, and I sacrificed time with my family. I would come home from work every single day, and by 6 p.m., I was sitting on my computer, and I would sit there until midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. My kids came in, I would turn and talk to them, and I'd say, listen, honey, I have to do this. But if you come on board with me, and I got this from David Ingram as well, if you come on board with me and you do this thing with us and you support me and mommy as we do this, and you just play with your toys or watch that show or just kind of talk to me as I'm doing this, then in 18 months, I'm going to retire from the Army and I'll be home forever, and I'll take you to Disney World. And that's how we'll celebrate. And then we'll never have to deal with this crap again. And they said, okay. And they were so stoked, and they supported us entirely. And that's exactly what we did when I got out of the Army. That is how you have to come in touch with that. You have to get something that really makes you emotional, that makes you feel light, that makes you feel excited, pissed off. That is going to get you to go next level with this thing. The next part is positive affirmations. This is you. Positive affirmations and what they'll do. Write it on the mirror right there.
So yeah, you have to tell yourself the opposite of what you feel. A lot of times we say negative things out loud, like, oh, well, a common one is I I'm fat. I
Right.
feel fat. I can't wear these jeans.
Well,
I'm too fat. I
you'll
look
think
fat.
positive things. Right. You think positive things.
But
You say.
the cool thing about whatever you say out loud, you eventually believe, even though it's a lie. Okay, so you lie to yourself all the time. You say these negative things, and eventually you believe it. You believe that you're a terrible person. You're not a good parent. That you're overweight or whatever. Fill in the blank. The cool thing is the opposite works. If you say the positive thing that you don't believe and it's a lie, or you feel like it's a lie, it's probably not a lie. Like, I'm a good friend. I'm an amazing coach. Everybody wants to join my team. I'm going to make Success Cup 15. It's already in the bag. Everybody, like anything that you're struggling with, say it out loud. I have on my mirror right there that everyone deserves an invitation to the opportunity, because I struggle with what people think. And I know it's my job as a person to at least give the invitation. So I say that to myself out loud all the time. So that way I have the confidence and I believe it because I say it enough. Does that make sense?
And the rule is that when you walk past the positive information that you've written on your mirror in like lipstick, you have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
And it's something you hold yourself to. And you walk by and you just go, yeah. And what we have written in the bathroom is, I am an amazing coach, an amazing friend, and everyone wants to join my team. And I'll go take a piss and I'll say it. I'll just read it right there on the mirror and I'll say it out loud, all alone. And that's what we do. And it's something that when you put it out, and this is The Secret by Robin Byrne, which is so good, and you put this stuff out at the universe, is what you get back. And if you say, I'm fat, I know, I'm fat, I know, I'm fat, I'm allowed, right? And that's the crap that comes out of your mouth, it's exactly what you're going to get out of life. I hope that you guys got value out of this call. I hope that you don't just sit here with like your amazing aha moments, because recognize right now that aha moments don't change your life. So I don't care about them. Tell me what your action moment is a year from now. That's what matters. Action moments.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
No, that's awesome stuff, guys. Sorry if I was distracted a little bit. Allie came in here and she's got a tooth hanging out of her mouth, but it's out of her gums, but attached to her braces. So, I can't do anything about it. She's just going to have an unattached tooth in her mouth until she goes to the ortho tomorrow. So sorry if I got sidetracked there a little bit. So a couple of things, man. It's funny. I want to say to my guys, I'm sure that a lot of the stuff that you heard, some of it was like the same stuff, and some of it was the same stuff differently. And then there was a lot of cool stuff on there too that, I love the phrasing of recruiting on purpose, I treat your business like a business is kind of the go-to thing that I use. And using Facebook to form, same kind of thing. I generally talk about attractive marketing or attraction marketing, where I post to where people want to come to me, but it's really the same thing. It's fantastic. I love that you were talking about that you used to have to set an alarm to post, because 3 to 5 times a day is what I tell my people. And the thing that I want you guys to think about is, Bryan wasn't really interested in the beginning about being a Beachbody coach or making this work, but when he decided, hey, I'm going to legitimately make this work, he started doing things that would make it work, like setting an alarm until he didn't need to set the alarm anymore. And, sharing that smallest journey, sharing that, the example that I use is, hey, I just paid I just took my kids to Chick-fil-A with my Beachbody check. Thanks, Beachbody, or whatever you want to say. And then a couple of years later, it's, hey, I just, paid this month's mortgage. And so people are like, holy cow, you were just buying freaking chicken nuggets, not that long ago. Maybe I should be doing this. Oh my gosh. And the no stock photos, for 100%. And the 4 posts, or the 4 points to the post was great. I tell you, have you seen Eric Thomas's harvest video? I post it all the time. And I post it on my wall even too, but do you know who Eric Thomas is? Yeah. So, YouTube, his video, I've even probably put it in the men's group, but it's called The Harvest, right? And it's exactly what you were talking about, speaking things into existence. The example that he gives is, he says, like, I'm standing in this cornfield, and the farmer knew that there was going to be corn here. Even though it was empty, he knew there was going to be corn here. I knew I was going to write a book. And so I told people, I'm Eric Thomas, the author. And so I love that, is he's like, you gotta believe it before you can see it. It's fantastic stuff. And, the coolest thing for me is, that you guys are so fresh to the higher level of success for this, right? I mean, because you signed up, Tesha, you signed up first, and how long ago?
August 2013.
Of what?
2013.
Yeah, so August of 2013. So, I mean, and that's the thing, guys. You think about, I know that a bunch of you just started this business, right? And so you're sitting, and the question, like Bryan and Tesha are talking about, I mean, you have to believe it, that you can do this. August of 2013, so that's almost the end of 13, right? Less than 3 years ago, like what is it, 2.5 years, really, getting somewhere around there. So right now you look at your Beachbody earnings and then be like, but in 2.5 years, if these people are earning, well into six figures, then why not me? And that's the question that I want you to ask when you see what other leader level coaches are doing. When you see somebody else post that they've signed 20 coaches or they've gotten 20 points. 20 coaches is a lot. We only have a couple people do that on the team. But, again, still, honestly, when I see that and they answer, and I ask myself, why not me? Why don't I sign 20 coaches? Because they work harder than I do. To be honest with you, they do. They work harder than I do. But it's, that's okay. I mean, if you're happy with where you're at, these guys are killing it. And, and I'm not happy where I'm at yet either. That's why I still make Success Club 5, 10 most of the time, or, whatever. And so, man, thank you guys so much for coming on and all. I mean, I've got like 3 pages of little notes here, and everything's got a star next to it. I was going to just put stars on things I really wanted to focus on, but great stuff. Anybody got just a couple of minutes, if anybody has any questions, anybody want to ask anything?
All right, cool. There's a pretty cool thing that this guy that I follow says, and it's something that resonated with me big time in one of the summits that I went to. And he said it so matter-of-factly. Like he said it like it wasn't a question, and it really like boom, right, hits you. And he says, he looks at you like you're dumb, and he says, if you do this thing and you do this thing right, it will absolutely change your life. And I just went, huh, okay. Okay. And that was it. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one a lot. And I say it a lot, but I sometimes credit you to it, and sometimes I just say it like I say it.
There you go. That's fine. I was going to say the other thing, I forget how you talked about it, but you were both pointing on it. But, in my mind, I 100% feel like I'm doing somebody a favor when I'm talking to them about the Beachbody, the workout, or the opportunity. Because I've changed my life with both, so I know that it works if they do it and they do it right.
And they do it right. Right. And that's so true. I mean, so that helps you be unapologetic. Like I look at people and I don't take their excuses ever. There's not an excuse in the world that people can give me to why in a program that I can't pair with them or a reason that they can't do this business. And it really helps you have that posture when you're talking to people.
I think the most important, what I learned when I was doing like the bubble sheet and I was recruiting on purpose was that when people come back at you, and a lot of times we get so defensive, like they come at you with like with some kind of reason why you probably think they don't want to become a coach ever. Like you share the webinar and they're like, well, how much does it cost again? Or maybe it's like, isn't this one of those pyramid things? And I used to get so like, oh God, they just asked a terrible question and they obviously don't want to do this. And I would handle it in a way to where
you think it should be handled. Right.
You think it should be handled. But now all I do is I address it and I answer it in a way to where I'm like, yeah.
Shut up, ho. Get off my post.
I don't say that. But when I'm personally messaging people, I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. And then as long as I hold posture, like I don't crumble with their question, but I buck right back up and I'm like, yep, this is how it is and it's changed my life. They normally go, oh, cool. And then they just flow right through. Like it's not even a hiccup in the conversation.
No, it's such a good point. And when people and too many times do I see people like where inside the team page, they act a certain way, they're themselves. And then they're posting as somebody they think a coach should be. I'm going to tell you right now that you are not Lindsay Matway. You're not Lindsay Matway. You're not Bonnie. You're not Chris Reed. You're not me. You're not Tesha. Okay, you're not David Ingram. Stop trying to be those people, because if anything, you can like there are successful coaches out there who are everything you can think of. So you should be you, but you be you unapologetically with a purpose now. And that because the moment you start saying, like, the moment you start doing this right here, and this is how I know, this is how you can know that you're messing up, is when you get somebody message you something, you go, God, I'm so sick of this person and their excuses. No, I totally understand. Let's just set up another time. That's it. You're messing up. You're not being truthful. Tell them how you really feel. If people are dodging you and they keep having to push back the date, call them out on it.
It's so amazing.
Listen, are you ducking me right now? You said you wanted to do this because, and that's why you get their goal, right? Because you wanted to do this. Are you telling me that being here 30 years from now to walk your daughter down the aisle is not important to you anymore? Because what happened? Because you said you wanted to do this. We can do this. Why aren't you doing this?
And a lot of times it's just, it's just cold feet. And like especially
it's a scream. It's not the real objection.
When people are ignoring you, just call them out. Mm-hmm. They all of a sudden are back in it again. Like, you just call them out. So they're back. They're responding to you again. You setting up the next date. You're moving on with your life.
You're not a smiler. Yeah, you can be you. Be you. Say the F word if you want to say the F word.
Yeah, and somebody was messaging me. They were talking about they love that you talked about, telling your kid, hey, you know what, get on board with me, and how I phrase that is buying back my time, with my kids, because the running joke on our team is, they come in with their tooth hanging out of the braces or whatever, and I'm like, quiet, I'm trying to spend the rest of my life with you. Quiet, I'm trying to spend more time with you. Go do something else. But it's the same thing. And that's one of the things that gets glossed over a lot is the amount of sacrifice that it takes to do something legitimately superior with this business. And you guys are definitely doing it, and I can't wait to see where you guys are in another couple of years. It's so awesome. And I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the call. Thank you for the time that you spent with us. It's great stuff. And I'll see you in Dallas, next month?
I'll be there on stage.
All right, man. Awesome. That's right. Yeah.
I know, right?
I forgot about that. Man, I got the name pronunciation wrong and forgot that you were. All right. Anyway, organization's that's part of my brand. Is I can jack that stuff up and still succeed. So anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you so much. And everybody else, we will see you on the boards.
Bye.
Bye, guys.